Good morning, friends. Good morning. Good day, dear students, dear friends. Welcome to Ramarama TV. Today, I'm going to share with you uh, my review, no, on the general mathematics. I'm going to have the general mathematics review. Okay. So, question number 1. So, this is the problem. A bag contains 7 times as many black marbles as a red marble. If a black marble weighs 3 grams and the total weight of marbles is 26 grams, how much does a red marble weigh? So remember this phrase, 7 times as many black marbles as a red marble. So as you encounter this phrase as many as, so the quantity this quantity 7 times or any quantity before this phrase as many, this one refers to the first quantity of the ratio. And after as many as after as many as, you see here a red marble. It is singular. It means 1. So this quantity here, the singular quantity here is referring to the second number of a ratio. So take note, if you counter as many as phrase, it means a ratio. So we have 7 black marbles being compared to 7 black marbles being compared to 1 red marble. Okay, from a ratio, we proceed to the law of addition because we know that the total weight of the marbles is 26 grams. So we have here 7b plus 1r equals to 26. And according to the problem, a black ball weighs 3 grams. So we replace b by 3, right? And evaluating this equation, we have 21 plus 1r equals to 26. We want to solve the variable r, so we transfer 21 to the right-hand side. So we have in the right-hand side 26 minus 21. In the left-hand side, we have 1r. So 1 times r is just r. In the right-hand side, 26 minus 21, 5. Therefore, the number of the red marble weighs 5 grams. Question number 2. A sum of money is divided among 3 men such that amounts x, y, and z exist in the ratio 3 is to 6 is to 8. If y is 15 pesos more than x, calculate the actual amount of money y has. So this is my solution. Notice the ratio given by the problem, that is 3 is to 6 is to 8, right? And we know that the difference in the ratio, there are differences like number 3, number 2. 3 is the difference between 3 and 6, and 2 is the difference between 6 and 8. So we're still in the ratio. In the actual values, now we can still have another ratio for the actual values, but the problem is we do not know the quantity of x, the quantity of y, the quantity of z. At least for the actual values, according to the problem, it is stated there that y has 15 pesos more than x. Even if we do not know the quantities of x, y, and z, by these quantities, 3 3 is the ratio difference, 15 is the actual difference. Using the ratio 3 is to 15, we can equate this one to another ratio, which is 6 is to y. Okay? So we can focus only on the variable y. So we have now the proportion 3 is to 15 equals to 6 is to y. So doing the cross multiplication, ensuring that the product of the means equals to the product of the extremes. Product of the means equals to product of the extremes. So doing the cross multiplication, we have 3y equals 90. And Dividing both sides by 3, we have y equals 30. Therefore, the actual value of y is 30 pesos. No? Question number 3. If the base of a rectangle is decreased by 30% and altitude is increased by 20%, then the area is decreased by. So this is my solution. We do not know the actual values of the base and the height. We just only know the increase and the decrease. So you can choose arbitrary values. For me, I choose 100 as the value of my base. I choose 200 as the value of my height. So I'm now computing the original area using my arbitrary values. So my original area is 20,000 square units. Now for the new area, this is the result of the decreasing and increasing. Now for the base, for the new area, according to the problem, the base is decreased by 30%. That means, uh, for example, I have 100 as my base. If the base is decreased by 30%, that means 100 is decreased by itself multiplied by 0.30, and that gives 70. No? That is the base of the new area. For the height, I choose 200. According to the problem, the height is increased by 20%. That means addition. So 200 is being added to itself multiplied by 0.20, and that gives 240. Now, the new area, uh, using these new dimensions, 70 and 240, the new area now is 16,800 square units. Now, I will compare the original area and the new area to compute the rate of decrease. 30,000 is the area, is the original area, minus, because there's a decrease. Notice that from 3,000 it becomes 60,800 after the decrease and the increase. So comparing these areas, there is a decrease between these two areas. Because of that, it is expected that 20,000 must be subtracted by itself, but multiplied to a certain rate. We do not know that rate, and that difference must equal to 16,800, the new area. Now, doing the algebraic manipulation, doing the subtraction property of equality, division property of equality, then we can have x equals to 0.16 or 16%. That is the answer for the last statement. Then the area is decreased by 16%. Now let's have question number 4. A man is 35 years old and his son is 5 years old. In how many years will the father be 4 times as old as the son? So it's very clear that numbers 35 and 5 are not equal to each other. There is an inequality. And if you add years, the equality is maintained, no? The greater than. But because we want to solve this problem, how many years will the father be 4 times as old as the son? It is referring to an equation, and that is 35 plus x equals to 4 times 5 plus x. So we need this equation to solve for that number of years that must come to pass so that the father's age will be 4 times the age of his son. Okay? So in considering this equation, we are doing the distributive property over addition. So in the right-hand side, we have 20 plus 4x. In the left-hand side, 35 plus x. So we gather all the x terms in the left-hand side. In the right-hand side, we gather all the constants, doing the basic algebraic manipulation, and of course, doing the division perpetuity equality, your x equals to 5. That means in 5 years, it is expected that the age of the father after 5 years, the father's age will be 4 times the age of his son. Question number 5. Three brothers are to share 80,000 pesos. The first brother will receive one half, while the second will receive 3/8. What amount will the third brother receive? So this is my solution. I let number 1 represent the quantity 80,000. So let's have the fraction mode. So 80,000 becomes 1, and 1 is subtracted by 1 half, that is the share of the first brother, 3/8, that is the share of the second brother. So after subtracting 1 by these two fractions, the difference is 1/8. 1/8 then is the share of the third brother. Now let's go back to the world of actual values. Let us multiply 80,000 by 1/8, which is the share of the third brother. So the product is 10,000. So the actual value that must be given to the third brother is 10,000. 10,000 is 1/8 of the whole quantity 80,000. Question number 6. If 6 men can clear the flood near a school in 4 hours, how many hours will it take men at the same rate to perform the task? So this problem involves an inverse variation like this, no? 6 is inversely, uh, 6 varies inversely as 4, no? In the first equation. Second equation, you can say 8 varies inversely as h. So they have the same rate. So we are doing the cross multiplication. Actually, 6 is understood to have 1 as the denominator. 8 is also understood to have 1 as the denominator. So we are doing the cross multiplication. That's why we have 6 times 4 equals to r. Another value of r is 8 times h. And because they have the same rate, the same constant of proportionality r equals to r, so we can equate 6 times 4 to 8 times h. Solving for h, we have h equals to 3. So going back to the problem, so it will take 8 men. It will take the 8 men will take 3 hours at the same rate to perform the task. Actually, the na shortcut ani no. If you encounter this problem, uh, you can have this first phrase, the if phrase. So we have here 6 men for hours. You can multiply them directly for a shortcut technique. So 6 times 4, 24. And after the if phrase, we have this interrogative sentence. So how many hours this question, this phrase, how many hours uh, is referring to the variable x multiplied to 8. So we can have, by reading this statement, we can have the equation 6 times 4 equals to x times 8. Solving for x, then you can solve x equals to 3. All right, question number 7. How many liters of wine that is 90% alcohol must be combined with 1 liter of another wine that is 70% alcohol to obtain a mixture that is 88% alcohol? Okay. So actually, you can uh, transform uh, the English words or English phrases into math symbols. So how many liters of wine, that is the variable x, that is 90% alcohol, so x times 0.90 must be combined with, that means plus, 1 liter of another wine that is 70%, that means 1 times 0.70. Then to obtain a mixture equals x plus 1 times, that is 88% alcohol, x plus 1 times 0.88. So we already have this equation. the infinitive phrase to obtain becomes an equal sign. Okay, so again, recall the basic algebraic manipulation to find the value of x. So applying what you have learned, applying those the subtraction property of equality, division property of equality, you can have x equals to 9. No? So it it needs 9 liters of another wine. No? That is 70% alcohol to obtain ano it it needs 9 liters of wine, that is 90% alcohol, that must be combined with 1 liter of another wine, that is 70% alcohol, to obtain a mixture that is 88% alcohol. So how many liters of wine that is 90%? It must be 9 liters. Question 8. A student's average score in 4 math quizzes is 82. Scores of the first 4 quizzes are 75, 80, 85, and 88, respectively. What must be the fifth score to pull the average to exactly 84.6? So this is my solution. Okay. So the first 4 different scores, 75, 80, 85, and 88, getting their average, the result is 82. So once you have the average, 75 plus 80 plus 85 plus 88 is just equal to 4 times 82. So you can actually rewrite them as 4 number 82s. Upat ka 82. So that's the beauty if you're able to get the average or the mean. Now, the problem is asking for a score, the fifth score that will improve, that will make 82 be increased into 84.6. All right. So 4 times 82, that means 4 terms already. Plus x is the fifth square, fifth term. That's why you have 4 times into plus x divided by 5. So we're dividing by 5 because there is another score added to 4 times 82 equals to 84.6, which is the target score or the target um, average. Right? So we are in this equation, we are multiplying 5 both sides so that what will be left in the left hand side is 4 times 82 plus x, and what will be left in the right hand side is 84.6 times 5. Okay, so simplifying this expression, applying the transfer method or the subtraction property of equality, x can be equal to 95. So it means a student must get 95 as the fifth score so that his grade or average, his average will be from 82 to 84.6. Question 9. Four angles of a quadrilateral are in the ratio 6 is to 8 is to 10 is to 12. So what is the measure of each angle? Take note that the sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360. Now we have the ratio 6 is to 8 is to 10 is to 12. What will you do for the solution? Okay, you just, from the ratio, we proceed to the law of addition, where x is being multiplied to each number in the ratio. And these 4 addends is equated to 360. So doing the basic algebraic manipulation, you have 36x equals to 360. Dividing both sides by 36, it gives x equals to 10. So because your x equals to 10, you're not able to have 6 times 10 equals to 60, 8 times 10 equals to 80, 10 times 10 equals to 100, and 12 times 10 equals to 120. So the measure of which angle? We have The first angle is 60 degrees. The second angle is 80 degrees. Third angle is 100 degrees. And the fourth angle is 120 degrees. Okay, so let's have question number 10. Which statement is true? The answer is number 5. Letter C, square root of 5. Square root of 3 is a real number but not a rational number. So square A is false because square root 3 is not a rational number. It's only a real number. Letter B is false. 0 is a neutral number. Letter C, square root of 5, yes, it is a real number. That's true. Right? D, square root of 9, that is actually equal to 3. Okay, so square root of 9 being an irrational number is false because square root of 9 is 3 and 3 can be expressed as 3 divided by 1 where the numbers 3 and 1 are integers. So the answer for question number 10 is letter C. Question number 11. The 10,000th digit of the number 1,234.5678 is, the answer is 8. 10,000s. You have to recall your elementary math. This was taught, I believe, this was taught by your elementary teacher back then. Right. Question 12, case 1. So we have negative 4 times 6 times 2 plus negative 3 plus 12 divided by 3 equals to question mark. So what are you going to do? So if you apply the MDAS, okay, you can have negative 48 because you're multiplying negative 4, positive 6, and positive 2. Another one is you have 4. It is the quotient of 12 divided by 3 equals to question mark. Next, we have negative 48 added to 4. So we have the answer, negative 44. But using the same problem, if it happens that 6 has the exponent 2, so you have to evaluate first the number with an exponent. So 6 squared, that means 66 times 6, the answer is 36, right? And simplifying this equation, you have negative 144 plus 4 equals to question mark. And then the answer must be negative 140. No, that is case number 2. In case there is an exponent. Okay. Question number 13. John has 30,000 in the bank. After a year, he expects it to earn 4,000. What is the rate of interest? So this is the solution. Interest equals to the principal times rate times time. So according to the problem, our target interest is 4,000. The principal is 30,000. Times rate, we do not know the rate, times 1, it is referring to the word after a year, no? A year, singular quantity. Now, it notice that it is only the rate that do not have an exact value. So we divide both side of the equations by 20,000. So we have rate equals to 0.2 or equal to 10%. Question number 14. The greatest common divisor of 119, 51, and 102 is actually 17. So if you try to have prime factorization of these numbers, you will see that the number 17 is the highest, most common factor. So you have the answer 17. Okay. These are the numbers. Okay. Let's have question number 15. The rest of these numbers have log decimal places except this one. But if you're looking for the greatest common divisor, it must be 17. The highest factor at the same time common to the three numbers. Question number 15, which is a proportion, it is letter A. Because the product of the means equal to the product of the extremes. The rest or the line form. Okay? Wala gid na equal, wala gid na uniform. Wala gid equal ang product of the means and the product of the extremes. That's why you only have A as the correct answer for number 14. Number 16, after receiving a 50% discount, Jean paid 200 pesos for an item. What is the regular price of the item? So this is just like having an item, and it takes the 60% discount. That's why you only pay 300 pesos. So what is the regular price of the item? So we do not know that regular price, but we are sure that it is discounted, right, by 60%. That's why x minus x times 0.60 equals to 300. Now, notice the left-hand side, you have x minus x times 0.60. You can actually factor out x, leaving only 1 minus 0.60 inside the parentheses equals to 300. Now, we have the equation x times 0.40 equals to 300 because we really want to find the value of x. So we divide both sides of the equation by 0.40, and that's why we have the original price x equals to 750. Question number 17. Timothy borrowed 25,000 from the bank and at the rate of 15% per year. How much will he owe the bank after 2 years? So this is my solution. The principal there is 25,000 times the rate is 15 times 2, and then your interest is 7,500. 7,500. So the total amount or the final amount must be the sum of principal and the interest. We know already that the principal is 25,000 and 7,500 is uh, interest, 7,500. So getting the final amount, we need to get the sum that's equal to 30,500. We're adding 35,000 and 7,500 to have the final amount of 30,500. Question number 18. 112 in percent is 0.00833 times 100 equals to? Okay, so asa ka gikan si 0.0833? It is from dividing 1 by 12. That's why you have 0.0833. And if you want to combine that one, to transform that one into an actual percent form, so you just multiply 8 by 100 and you will have 8.33%. 19. John invested 7,000 pesos in a certain business. How much will his money be in 3 years if it earns 15% interest in a year? So just take note of the formulas. Total or final amount equals to principal plus interest. Interest equals to principal times rate times time. All right. So, okay, we are now using the formulas and we find that the total amount must be 10,150 pesos. Okay. Okay. So question number 20. The number of hours spent for review in calculus physics in English is in the ratio 5:4:3. How many hours does each student spend for calculus in a 24-hour review package? Now, I have here the solution for number 20. Now, the ratio 5:4:3 is related to 24. And because we have the total package of 24 hours, we can equate the addition mode of the ratio to, we can have the sum of these numbers each multiplied by x, and the sum is equated to 24. And then going on, we have 12x equals to 24. Solving for x, we have x equals to 2. The problem is asking for the number of hours spent by the student for calculus. So the calculus is represented by the term 5x. So since we know that x equals to 2, so 5x equals to 10, right? So friends, I hope you enjoy listening to my discussion. I hope if some of you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates. Thank you for listening, friends. May God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.